Hey, hey, hey!
Hello,
Well,
can you hear us and can you see us?
I have an echo. Okay, that should be better. Hmm, it's not. Is there an echo on the stream?
Anyone? Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Si va, ça marche.
Okay, very good.
Right.
Well, oh, SpaceX just pushed their going live by 42 minutes. Oh, maybe I'm getting my echo from you, Rich? Check 1, 2. Nope. Are you using you're not using headphones?
No, but the microphone was off at that time, so there's no way that it could have generated the echo. So, what is the time now of the launch?
41 minutes from now is when SpaceX will go live.
Okie dokie. Right. Well, I am Rich LB, co-host of Becoming Multiplanetary, and with me here.
I'm Astro Roadie, and I'm trying to solve an echo so I can hear myself think.
No worries. And whilst Astro Rody is sorting that out, we're here live today to try and see if the Transporter 2 will launch today. It was held at 11 seconds yesterday due to a range violation. We've since learned, I believe, if I read right on Twitter, there was a helicopter nearby where Austin Bernard was standing. That caused the range violation, I believe. So this is the second attempt today. This is going to be quite. There's a lot of payloads on this launch. There's about 88 payloads in total, and this will be the 100th recovery attempt with Falcon 9 today. It'll be the 123rd Falcon 9 launch, and we actually have, just before we get started, I don't know if we can have it. We have a little infographic which shows a few of the payloads on today's launch. There we go. So, as you can see, and that's only a few of the payloads out of the 88 that are going to be on there. So there is going to be quite a lot on today, and hopefully we'll have some nice weather to be able to see them off with. How are we getting on with that echo, Master
I
Rudy?
think I have solved it. It was a background tab in one of my browsers was playing the stream. So I was hearing myself in Discord and on the stream, even though thought I was muted on everything on all the tabs. But hey. we've solved it, and with plenty of time before we start seeing the coverage. So, yay!
Excellent. So, yesterday was a fun day. We attempted to stream Transporter 2 yesterday, but we had quite a few technical difficulties. However, we came back and did the Soyuz stream thereafter, and that one went a lot better, didn't it? So we didn't actually get that much of a chance to talk about the launch yesterday. During the launch, we ended up getting quite a few questions in chat, and started chilling out with the chat really. So, but one of the things that I did point out at the Soyuz launch is the way the SRBs are strapped to the side when it's going up, especially in twilight or dawn. You can see the light from the thrust. It comes out in a kind of star shape around the SRBs, which looks really amazing on stream. If you never got to see the MS-17 launch yesterday, we do have it up on our channel from when we live streamed it. You can actually see this sort of shading that I'm referring to as the rocket's going up. We have Miko with us as well from Deep Dive. Hello, Miko.
Hey, Miko.
So, Miko, I'm not sure if you're watching right this very second, but our producer has said if you wish to join, he is more than happy to plumb you in if you'd like. No pressure. Huh. And welcome to Ms. Dixon in chat, soon to be Mrs. Logan Baker.
Hi, Rebecca.
Oh.
Uh,
That wasn't me.
what was it? My hands are up here.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going up on this launch. I don't have the infographic handy anymore. See if I can bring it back up on my viewer. There it is. 29 small sats, 10 microsats, and 19 CubeSats. 1,000 weighing 1,000 kilograms. And then Exo Launch's flight hardware is 10 carbon-nix separation system, 10 times, 4 Exo ports on 24-inch ports, and 2 Exopod deployers. So it's quite a chunk of payload distribution there.
Let's see if I can find a list. Maybe do like a rap god reeling it all out. You know? Where are we?
I know I saw a list at some point and I should have bookmarked it.
88, Sabalch. But yeah, it's a long list. Okay, right. I think I found a few things from what's going to be on it today. So, first
Take
thing,
it away, Rich.
jazz hands. Right. So, first thing we've got is Aerospace Labs Arthur. Now, Aerospace Labs' risk reduction flight mission objective is to put in service a high resolution optical payload, gain flight heritage for the in-house developed equipment, and verify the capability to maneuver the spacecraft thanks to the micro-propulsion system from ExoTrail. Then we have Astrocast's Internet of Things nano satellite. Astrocast will launch an additional 5 Internet of Things nano satellites to their constellation. The Astrocast Sat IoT service enables companies to track Internet of Things assets in some of the world's most remote regions. When we refer to IoT assets, these are things like, for instance, smart bulbs around your house or any kind of technology which is internet enabled, which is a type of utility. Even a car's infotainment system theoretically can be classed in an IoT device. So these are nanosatellites being launched specifically for IoT device communication in remote regions. Then we have Hawkeye 360's Cluster 3. And this is going to be further expanding the constellation of Hawkeye's 360. The Cluster 3 satellites are upgraded in that they're able to collect a greater quantity of data across a wider portion on the radio frequency spectrum, creating valuable, actionable insights for maritime domain awareness, national security, environmental protection, and more. Let's see what else we have here. In Space Missions Limited's Faraday Phoenix. Interesting choice of name, Faraday. In Space Missions are world-class experts who design, build, and operate bespoke physical and digital customer missions from their UK offices. So this particular one, there's not really much information on what exactly it is, but that is the Faraday Phoenix will be one of the clients on board. Here we are. Clear Space Polar Vigilance Mission cluster of 4 satellites. The 4-satellite Polar Vigilance mission from Kleos will deliver radio frequency Earth observation data. So, effectively, these are probably going to end up being used for monitoring ice melt, I would think, or glacial drift, and just monitoring the polar regions, effectively. Loft Orbital's YAM-2. YAMS. They are flying several missions for both commercial and government customers, and that is pretty much all that has been said on this. Now, I could keep going on this. There's quite a few, but there is one that I would like to bring up because it was rather interesting, actually, and that is the Swarm Technologies Space Bees. And again, this is a similar thing to one of the previous customers in that they are made for connectivity to remote IoT devices. However, they're just, I don't know if we probably couldn't get a picture of those. One moment. See if we can get the picture of the Space Bees. No problem.
I have a mosquito chasing me. It's harassing me.
Yeah, it is the season and all that. There's like loads of flies over here in the UK at the moment.
It's 500 degrees outside, so the mosquito decided it wanted to live inside where I have air conditioning. It's so hot that we actually don't have a lot of mosquitoes right now this year. Normally you can't go outside without bug spray in my area, and it's it's too hot. I think it cooked all their eggs before they could hatch. I'm not going to complain about that at all.
So I think that's them. You know, I look at those things and they just remind me of the weighted companion cubes from Portal.
They look pretty interesting.
So that's just a few of the payloads that are going to be going up today. And
The best part about today's launch is it's a return to launch site instead of a drone ship landing. Now, the drone ship landing is very cool in its technicality, but we usually don't get very good footage. That last landing was pretty good footage, but return to launch site, we get very good footage of the landing. We can see it coming down to the ground. Hopefully, they've got a camera on it. I'm making an assumption here that SpaceX will have a camera on the ground pointed at it, and we get to see it come in for a landing. So I'm very excited about that.
yeah, they're normally fairly good with that, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SpaceX is really good about having enough cameras everywhere. They even have more cameras on a lot of their launches than we get to see. A lot of them are scientific cameras and data retrieval cameras just for their own internal use.
Right. So how are we looking now before SpaceX going live?
SpaceX goes live in just over 26 minutes.
So I think this would probably be a good time to have a Q&A with chat. What do you think?
That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I would imagine that somebody in this chat room, either on the YouTube chat or in Discord, where all our Patreons can chat directly with us, they can ask questions, and we will see what we can do to provide some answers. Give them a minute to type their questions down and see what comes up.
Also, Mr. Producer, can you take me to the bottom, please? Thank you. This is great, this is. Should probably move this over here, actually. The noise? What are you talking about, Ryan?
I think this is payback for and everything from yesterday.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
he's just
probably.
teasing us. Well played, good sir. Well played. I will take your hair gel and I will raise you.
So, chat. Has everybody seen as Ryan from the Space Update is actually here? Has everybody seen the Astroscale interview yet? Yeah, I think they're talking about that effect. Yeah, you can. Wow, yeah. That is red red as anything when it comes up. I can see on the meter it's peaking red every time that media source comes on.
Is there audio with it?
Yeah, there's audio accompanied with it, and the slider for the bar is full. The only problem is you can't turn the volume down until you play it.
So we need to
There we
capture it and
go.
break the audio off.
It's all right. It's done. It's fixed.
Is that one of the ones I got you? Or did we? Or is that some?
Yes, we're stuck in a Stargate wormhole at the moment.
I was thinking we were in a TARDIS, so one of the two.
I mean, I could go like get a long scarf and a hat and a jacket, just do the whole tomboy.
All right.
But yes, for those who haven't seen the Astro Scale interview yet, I can definitely say that it is worth the watch, for sure. And Astro Rody definitely knows because he was there.
Yeah. It was a very fun interview to record. I have not yet had a chance to watch the final edited product, but I know some of the guys that do the editing around here, and I'm pretty confident it came off pretty good. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to have a chance to look at it. Hopefully later today. Not quite sure. We'll have to see how the day plays out.
and I'm also looking forward to seeing Miko's work that he's been. I know that he's been working on today. Miko's been working on something for all of you. It might be so. It would require approval, I think, before it gets released. But I really don't think it'll be that long before we see a Patreon version, followed by an official release thereafter of the next interview. That was actually being conducted whilst myself and Astro Rody were trying to stream Transporter 2 yesterday.
Yeah, we had a split team yesterday doing a couple different things at the same time, and that presented some challenges for us. And then luckily we got everything straightened out in order to do the Soyuz launch later. But
Yeah.
when you switch from normally streaming from one person's setup and set someone else up to do it, it can take a little bit to work some kinks out. And then every time you restart the machine, you have a pretty good chance that you're going to end up with some more gremlins, which we discovered just before we went live today, and right after we went live as well. So things can change quickly, and we get to work on figuring it out real quick. So we've mentioned our Patreon a couple of times. I don't know if we want to talk about it now. Yeah, let's go ahead. We can talk about it for those that watch the stream later on. So one thing we provide to our Patreons is early access to our interviews, and like while we're recording, you can watch us record, and have access to our Discord behind the scenes. So you get quite a few little benefits for being a Patreon, and we have numerous different levels from very very small contributions to I forget what we're up. What's our biggest I don't. It doesn't matter what they are.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's one that will fit you if you are interested in being one of our Patreons, and like you'll have access to our Discord where we sit and hang out and talk to everybody about what we're working on, and what's coming up in the future, and so many different things that we talk about on our Discord. And plus, you can hang out with us even when we're not working on stuff for the channel. Sometimes some of us are streaming the video game we're playing, or who knows what all happens there. You want to find out, you're going to have to find your way onto that Discord. So if you're interested, head on over to patreon.com/totalspace.
And also, there's our official website as well, which is totalspace.net. And on there, you can see information about each show that we have, as well as various podcast versions of the episodes. And generally, if the podcast version was taken from a video version of the episode, there's normally an embed link on the episode to the YouTube video or Odyssey video for that episode as well. So you can find pretty much anything you need there. Also, there is one thing that I'd like to bring up in regards to our website, actually. We have on the website a contact form and also a section titled Be Our Guest. And this is effectively a form that you can fill out if you would like to be a guest on the show. And you just fill that out. That comes to us, and we just organize things from there. We've had quite a few of these over the last little while. We have a pretty, I'm not going to say manic schedule, but we have definitely a few things coming in the pipeline.
I guess it would be this way. Manic schedule is definitely the case. We all have things outside of YouTube that we do to keep food on our tables and roofs over our heads and all those adulting kinds of things. And then we come home and we sit and we do this for you guys. So squeezing all those life things in with doing YouTube, we do need to kind of keep a manic pace, as Rich was saying. I myself definitely can relate to the word manic pace because I've got a big construction project going, and then I spend 8 hours a day at a video studio working for someone else, and then I come home and I do this, and they make for long days sometimes. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I just love hanging out with you guys and chatting with you and being able to share with what we're going through on this adventure in YouTube. So I'm just happy to do it. It's fun.
So
Audio gremlins aside.
yeah, oh man, that was a nightmare. So we have a question from Sabalch. He asks, which landing do you prefer, sea platform or landing zone? Now, I think you kind of went into this a little bit earlier.
Yeah, a little bit.
So, for me, I mean, see, this is where Ryan just like totally says, return to launch site for Sonic Boom, which is pretty much what I was going to say. To see those Sonic Booms is really good. I mean, I just love Sonic Booms in general, especially when you can see it like push cloud material apart. That's really awesome.
Yeah. I don't think I have watched a return to landing site live yet. This will be the first time I've seen it live. I've seen some older videos of it. I was not following the space industry for a number of years until recently, so I missed a few things. I had other priorities in life, and so I'm excited to see this one live myself. And they both are very cool to me. The drone ship landings are cool just because it just seems so much harder. You've got two moving objects and one of them's rocking around, and the other one's shaking a whole bunch, and they're coming in to meet each other, and it's all done by autonomous computers. That is so amazing to me. Like, especially when we get ones like the GPS launch the other day, and SpaceX has just gone active with their stream. They're not showing any video yet. So it's just amazing to me that humans can accomplish that. And but return to launch site is also pretty cool. What goes up is coming straight back down, basically, even though it wiggles around in the air a fair amount, but it's coming back down pretty close to where it went up, and that's pretty cool, because I mean, most rockets don't do that, and I don't know, I'm real excited to see it live this time.
Bulch was asking if I was playing Ninja. No, buddy, I was doing my best John Cena impression because my camera was playing up. You can't see me.
Yep, he's like a shadow.
Shadow is my co-host. Well, Shadow in Japanese, anyway. Kage.
Yeah. Ryan brought something interesting up in chat earlier. On our website, we also do have some merch available. So you're welcome to go check that out there if you wander over to our website. There's a few things up there, and I think we get some changes made to that every so often. So there might be something new since the last time you went. Or there might not be. It might be exactly the same as it was. But
Actually,
things
that reminds me.
do get adjusted there.
Mr. Producer, could you John Cena me for a second? Because I actually have an example that I can grab. And whoosh.
I'm all alone now. What am I gonna do? We don't know, Zabalsh. He'll be back when he's ready to be back. He's taking a break, and when he's ready to be back, he is. We're anxious to see him too. We all miss him around here. So very excited to see the return of the Shadow. Okay. Mr. Producer, they've started doing footage on the SpaceX feed if we want to bring that up in the background.
Ooh. Okay, I am back.
Welcome back.
Here we have a nice little. This is the top that I ordered. So it has the Total Space logo on the back. It has right at the bottom, because this one was a Becoming Multiplanetary special. We have Twitter handles for the co-hosts, QR code, other side. And then on the front, we have the logo. And it's a really nice, thick, pretty strong material as well. And yeah, they're really nice, really high quality. And that's what they look like.
My name is Andy Tran. I'm a production supervisor here at SpaceX. Welcome to the webcast for SpaceX's transport.
We are at T-minus 10.5 minutes.
Rideshare program launch and second launch, our 20th
Muy
launch
bien.
of 2021. For those of you who joined us yesterday, You know that we got all the way down to T-minus 11 seconds, but had to stand down from our launch attempt due to rotary aircraft entering the keep-out zone. We are expecting the airways to stay clear today and looking forward to having Falcon 9
I just love how
deliver the
the
85 spacecraft
the
and 3
blocks
Starlink satellites
evaporating
on board
around the
to
rocket.
orbit. Now this includes
It's
CubeSats,
like
microsats, and orbital transfer vehicles,
fog
sometimes
around
called
the
space
rocket,
tugs, which would deploy their spacecraft after
billowing
separating
everywhere.
from Falcon 9. Today's launch is SpaceX's second polar orbit launch from the East Coast, and only the second polar trajectory since the late 1960s flown
I
out
thought
of
we
Cape
fired David
A polar
Attenborough.
orbit is one in which satellites pass above the north and
We
south
have
poles,
in its
as opposed
native
to the equator.
environment the
SpaceX has worked closely
Falcon
with the Air Force
9.
and the FAA to create a trajectory that meets the necessary safety requirements for
Where's
flight.
that
So
strong
far,
back?
everything's looking like a great day for a rocket launch at the Cape. And with liftoff in just under 10 minutes, let's take a closer look at Falcon 9. The two-stage vehicle is standing
It's been a while since they've done a daytime launch, hasn't it? There's been so many nighttime
It's
launches
named after the Millennium Falcon
for
from
SpaceX lately.
from Star Wars,
Seems
and
like.
the number 9 indicates the number of
I don't
Merlin
remember
1D
when the last
engines on
daytime
first
launch
stage.
was.
Today's mission is the 8th flight for this particular booster. That bottom 2/3 of the vehicle is the first stage.
You mean
its objective is to
over at
accelerate the vehicle
the
through the Earth's atmosphere to
KSC?
space and then separate
Yeah.
from the rest of the rocket.
That's a good question.
From there,
actually.
it will make its way back to Earth and target a
Seems
landing
like
on
the-
land this afternoon on landing
Seems
zone
like the last several
which
I've
is the
watched
pad
have
that you
been
see on screen right now.
night.
And if you're an Eastern Florida resident,
And
you
I
might
only
even be able to
noticed
see
that
Falcon 9
because,
over the
oh
ocean,
hey, look, I can
and
see
we'll
some
also
of
hear
the
one or
ground
more of the
service
sonic
equipment.
booms as Falcon 9
Can't
makes its way
normally
back
see
to
that
land.
from a nighttime
On
camera
top
that's
of
usually
the first
pointed up at
stage
the
is
rocket
black
instead of down
carbon
like
fiber
that.
interstage. It connects the two stages and houses the pneumatic pushers that allow the first and second stage to separate during flight.
So
And then on top
Sabalt
of the
says
interstage is the Falcon
that he
9
saw somewhere
second
that it was
stage,
mentioned it was
which
being a
takes the payload to its
helicopter.
eventual
I
destination
spoke
in
about this a
orbit.
little bit at the
After the
beginning
first
of the
stage
stream.
separates about
Sabalt.
2.5 minutes into flight.
It
The
was
second stage will then carry
pretty
the
sure it was a
88
helicopter.
spacecraft
If
to
you
orbit.
look at,
Similar to the first
I think it would be
mission,
under
we'll be
Austin
flying a
Bernard's
fuel
tweets and
dome
replies.
payload
He
tray,
mentions
which
at
is
one
essentially
point
a
that it
small
was not
platform
far
mounted
above
on the
where
back
he was
end of the
standing,
second stage fuel dome that will release a handful
watching
of
the
spacecraft
launch.
today.
So
This is worth mentioning as we expect this tray to obstruct one of our 2 MVAC views during flight. At the top of the rocket, you'll notice a large nose cone. This is called the fairing. Encapsulated inside the fairing are all 88 satellites. Protecting
I
them
saw a
until the
meme that
vehicle is
made me
outside of
chuckle.
Earth's atmosphere, at which point the fairing
That
separates
was
to expose satellites to space.
a
For
helicopter
today's mission, our
and
fairing is making
somebody
its third
had
flight, and we're also going to be
put the
attempting to recover the
laughing
fairing halves from
head
the water
of
following
Jeff
landing
Bezos in
with our
as
chartered recovery
the
vessel,
helicopter pilot.
HLS Briarwood.
I got a good chuckle of that.
The chief engineer held a technical poll at T-minus 60 minutes, and the launch director held a propellant-loaded launch go-no-go poll at T-minus 38 minutes. Since the T-minus 35-minute mark,
that's right.
Falcon 9
So
has
right
been
now
loading
on the
propellants.
stream,
The
we
vehicle is a
are
bi-propellant
approaching
vehicle, which means it
the
uses
latest
2 types of
TSN show,
propellants.
actually.
For fuel, a refined
Engine
form
show.
of kerosene called RP1, and for oxidizer, super chill liquid oxygen, we also refer to that as
That was a Linus
Currently,
Tech Tips
RP1 is
segue
fully
right
loaded
there.
on the second stage and almost fully loaded on the first stage.
I'm pretty
Liquid
good at
oxygen loading
those.
is currently
Ryan
underway.
can attest, you know.
We're also
Anyway,
loading
here's
fuel
Venus.
into storage vessels on the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
and
that's
second
just what I was
stages.
gonna bring
We
up.
take
Except
cold
when you're
helium
supposed
and
to
run it through
segue to
heat exchangers
Venus.
on the Merlin engines, and this
Oh yeah,
helium
here's
is used
Venus.
to fill the empty volume of the tanks created by the engine pumps pulling propellant out of the stage. A few seconds ago, engine chill began.
I might write a limerick
began.
about
This is where
Venus,
we opened the
but I'm trying to
pre-valves
think
in
of
the first
things that
stage pop
rhymes
tanks
Venus.
and the 9 Merlin engines. This allows a little bit of cold liquid oxygen
Can
to
we
flow
cut
into
Rich's
the turbopump,
microphone for a
bringing them
minute?
down to a temperature close to that of the super chill propellant that will soon be flowing through the engines at liftoff.
I don't know if everybody here's on Twitter or not, but
T-minus 6 minutes and 30
there was a
seconds
real
and
interesting
counting.
conversation
The
that
vehicle
took
is healthy. We're
place
tracking no issues so
between
far.
Tory
The red
and
is standing by for
Elon
support,
Musk over
and
the
the
last
weather
few
is
days.
green
Oh
for
wow, yeah,
liftoff.
that
All
was
systems
amazing.
continue to go
Anyone who
for an
hasn't
on-time
read
liftoff
that,
at 3:31 p.m.
it was
Eastern.
very fun. It was very fun. It was very tongue-in-cheek humor,
Today's launch will mark SpaceX's 20th mission of the
you know,
year
Tory
and
joked about
127th mission
inviting
to date.
Elon for
The
a
9th
tour of
mission
the
is
facility,
falling
and
so far this
Elon's
year,
reply was, "Do you want me to bring some engines with me just in case?"
Winky face.
Now, if you look at all the
And
Falcon missions
and
SpaceX
Tori's
has flown to
reply
date,
was,
half
"Well,
of
I
them
hear
fall
your
on
rocket
flight
needs a
proven
lot of them,
boosters.
so I wouldn't want to deprive you," or something
Reusability
along
allows
those
SpaceX to
lines.
fly the most
Leave you
expensive
short.
parts of the rocket,
Yeah, I wouldn't
which
want to
in
leave
turn
you
drives down the
short-handed.
cost
So
of
it was,
space access.
I
It
got
does
a
allow
good
us to
laugh at
increase
that,
our
and
launch cadence
it's
provide
nice
more
to
flight
see
opportunities for our
competitors
customers like those on board today's mission. In fact, last
be
year, we launched
have a
more than
little bit of
any other
playful
launch
banter with
provider
each
in the
other
world.
like that, and not
If
be.
you've been keeping track, you know
No.
our first transporter mission launched a record-breaking 100.
We've seen others in the industry not behave that way. Let's put it that way. And it's just refreshing to have to see two of the big guys on the block talk to each other openly in a fashion like that, and so I think that's neat. It was very team space mentality.
The
So
whole world of Twitter got to be a fly on the wall. How's about that?
we are at T-minus 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Falcon 9 is
Nice.
now moving into the final stages of the countdown. In a few moments here, the strongback will begin to open up its clamp arms.
And I'm going to guess that our producer is ready to bring up feed audio in just a couple minutes here, and we'll stop talking in a couple minutes and let everybody hear the rocket take off, because that's my favorite part, as listening to that crackle of the engines as we have liftoff. That echo crackle is just, I just love it. I just love it. It's my favorite part of the whole launch process.
Super heavy surround really loves that too.
Erector, also called the TE. The TE's job is to roll Falcon 9.
It'll be really interesting to hear what the super heavy booster sounds like when it launches.
I'm assuming, to be honest, it'll probably be silent because everybody's eardrums will simultaneously burst.
All the microphones will break.
You can start to hear the hiss and pop of pressure venting from the rocket and the plumbing.
It is a possibility. It is a possibility.
At this stage, the strongback should be reclined to its pre-launch position, again 2 degrees away from the vehicle.
Let's see. Oh yeah, she's raring to go now.
Just over 3 minutes until liftoff.
See all the evaporation coming off the booster.
The first and second stages are almost fully fueled.
And there goes my camera battery. So perfect timing.
That is the chillin of the Merlin turbo pumps. About a minute before liftoff, you will hear the announcement that Falcon 9.
I can't wait to upgrade this camera.
Own internal flight computers are now autonomously controlling the launch.
Get one that I can actually just plug in and not be reliant on batteries.
I'm in the stream twice. Hello, me.
It's me again.
This is a great shot of the fairing, and inside that fairing again are the 88 spacecraft as part of the
I'm back.
2 mission.
Yeah.
Weather remains green.
There I am.
Range is also standing
And
by
there's my name.
And as a reminder, if we don't get the opportunity to launch today, we do have a backup opportunity.
All right, we got
tomorrow
a
at the same
minute
time.
40 seconds.
I think at a minute we'll hush up and let the stream audio come on.
That sounds like a great idea. Sounds like a great idea.
Stage 2 lock load is complete.
Yeah, Zabos, I have I think 6 different batteries for this camera, but I primarily just rotate through 2 of them. Yeah, I could jettison one.
White clouds that you see on screen.
That's a hot swapper in the west.
All right, I'm gonna mute up my microphone and we'll listen to the stream.
Falcon is in startup.
Falcon 9 is in startup. You can start to hear some of the cheers here in Hawthorne. The first and second stages are beginning to pressurize for launch.
Falcon 9, Transporter 2, LD is go for launch.
That was the launch director giving the final go for launch. We are T-minus 30 seconds from liftoff. Let's tune into terminal count and watch as the Transporter 2 mission begins.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
First stage chamber pressure is nominal.
We are T plus 42 seconds into flight. Falcon 9 has cleared its tower, and we're currently throttling down in preparation for max Q. That should be coming up in about 20 seconds. Max Q is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
Falcon 9 is supersonic. Max Q.
And you heard the call out. We've passed the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. Falcon 9 is now headed south along the Florida coast. All is looking good with the first stage trajectory. We have 5 events coming up in quick succession in about a minute. The first is main engine cutoff, also known as MECO, followed by stage separation, where the 2 stages will separate from one another. The first stage will then perform a flip to head back towards Florida, and the MVAC engine on the second stage will perform second engine start 1 and ignite that MVAC engine. Then the first stage will also begin its first of 3 burns, the boost back burn. And this is a view from the top of Falcon 9 looking down towards the 9 Merlin engines at the bottom of the first stage.
Stage separation confirmed.
And there you saw on screen, we had successful stage separation. The first stage started performing its flip maneuver. And the boost back burn should be ending in about 25 seconds.
Okay, Mr. Producer has pulled the stream volume down a bit so we can speak a little.
Wonderful. I just love seeing that expansion. Rocket goes up, behind it, band, star pattern.
And there was confirmation of a successful
it's
boost
so
back
breathtaking
burn.
every
Again, that
time.
is the first of
Every
3 burns
single
for
time
the
I
first
see it.
stage. Coming up next is fairing
it's
deploy
just
in a few
phenomenal.
seconds here.
And then yeah,
From the top of
the
the
first
second stage.
stage falling away behind the second stage, and then the heating up of the vacuum Merlin
separation
engine
confirmed.
as things go on, and then there we have fairing separation.
And off come the 2
You can
fairing
see
halves,
all them
and they have
payloads.
separated and fallen
Look at
all
all
the way from the
them
vehicle,
payloads.
exposing the
All
88
88 of
spacecraft to the
them.
vacuum of space. As a reminder, the recovery vessel HOS Briarwood will be attempting to recover the fairing halves today from the water.
The boost
We're
back burn,
about T plus 4 minutes and 20 seconds into flight.
well,
We
there
have
are
a
9
couple
on
of
the
views
base of the
on
Merlin.
screen.
I
On
don't
the
think
right-hand
they use
side
all
is a
of them
view of
for the
our
boost
second
back.
stage Merlin
don't think it's
vacuum engine,
necessary.
also known as the MVAC
I
engine.
think it's
It's
just
currently in the first
one
of
or
2
two,
MVAC
but
burns.
I could
This burn
be
should last for
could
until
be
the T plus
mistaken on
8
that.
minute and 24 second mark. About
All
another
the
4 minutes
chickens.
left on this burn. And the next milestone will be for the first stage to
So,
perform its
I
entry
have,
burn. That's what you're seeing on the
you
left-hand
know when
side
you're
of the
in
screen.
class and you pass
Falcon 9
notes?
needs to execute
Like,
an entry
I
burn
have
to
a
slow itself
note
down
from
before
the
hitting the
producer.
dense parts of the atmosphere. And without
The
this
producer would
burn,
like me
relying on the atmosphere
let
alone to
everyone
slow
know
Falcon 9
that there
down
is new
would put
merch coming
unnecessary
for
strain on the
STEM
rocket.
study
Vehicle is
next
a
week,
nominal trajectory.
and that to celebrate the show's official release, we'll
Call out
be
for a
releasing the
nominal
merch with a new
trajectory.
discount
Everything's
code.
looking great so far on the
So
Transporter 2 mission.
stay tuned for that one.
You also notice some honeycomb-like structures have deployed on the first stage on the left-hand side. Those are our 4 hypersonic grid fins positioned at the base of the inner stage. They help
that
to orient
thrust
the
looks
rocket during
completely
re-entry
nominal.
by moving the center of pressure. There's also some plumes of gas coming out. This is cold nitrogen gas, which helps with attitude control. Both are essential to make sure that we have a nice targeted landing back on landing zone 1 later on in today's mission.
It seems like they put those space blankets around the vacuum raptor,
The second burn,
vacuum
the
Merlin,
burn is coming up in about
a little bit
30
differently every
seconds.
time.
Watch for that on the left-hand side.
Sometimes they're a little bit more
see there's a
floppy in
speedometer of
the
sorts, on the bottom left-hand side. That tracks the speed of
what's
the first
going
stage,
on
and
around
when we
it.
begin the
Sometimes
entry
they're
burn, we'll start to reduce the
pretty
speed,
rigid.
and
It
shortly
seems
after
like
the entry
they're
burn
wrapped
ends,
on there differently
we'll
every
hit the
time.
denser parts of the atmosphere and also begin to further reduce our velocity as the first stage continues to make its way back towards Earth.
Yeah, that's a good point, Ryan. We should see the air flowing over the grid fins as they go through the clouds. They make some pretty patterns, actually, as they cut a path through the air. Well, they can do. Especially if you're in the
Stage
right
2
sunlight
LTS
conditions.
saved.
They can make some really interesting effects.
Stage 1 entry burn start up.
Yeah, we had some nice Venturi on, I think it was on the GPS
There's
launch
the call out, and you can see
that
on
we
screen
streamed.
3
There was some
Merlin
nice
engines
little
have relit
Venturi on
and
the,
are currently slowing
on the
down the first
grid fins.
stage. This burn is expected to last
Okay,
for another
here we
15
go.
seconds or so.
Vehicle on a nominal
Boosting, slowing its
trajectory.
descent a little.
Stage 1 entry burn shut down.
And successful completion of our second of 3 burns. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be attempting to recover the booster for an 8th time back on land at landing zone 1. The first
Stage 1
stage
LTS saved.
has 1 more burn left, the landing burn. It begins just before we touch down and provides the booster with a
A little
soft
bit of
descent before we
RCS
land.
thruster.
At the same time Falcon lands, we are expecting Sequel 1 of our second stage. That's second engine cutoff. And shortly after that, we'll be entering a coast phase. And you can see
Stage
the
1
Florida
entry transonic.
coast and landing zone 1 are approaching on the left-hand side of the screen as this booster makes its
All
attempt
right,
to
we can
land for an
see it
8th
coming
time.
in now.
This is a great shot of the first stage coming down with its landing burn.
Stage 2 internal guidance.
Oof. That is one toasty boy.
Get
Stage
some
1
audio on that.
Falcon light deploy.
And just like
that
that.
was as smooth
Just
as
like
I'd
magic.
seen it. We had phenomenal shots all the way through the landing burn. You heard the sonic booms. This booster has landed for the 8th time. That is the 89th recovery of an orbital class rocket.
Stage 1 nominal landing confirmed.
A little bit of
And what a way
jitter
to
there
start
on
off
feed
the
for a
Transporter
sec.
2 mission.
Yeah,
At the same time, we did have
somehow
successful
our
second
stream
stage,
got ahead of
second engine
the
cutoff
SpaceX
and
stream that I'm watching on
confirmation of a
another
nominal
monitor.
orbital
So I
insertion.
saw it touch down on
We
our
are now
feed
going to coast for the next
before
45 minutes or so
it had
while we
touched
wait for
down on
second
the
engine start.
SpaceX feed.
2,
I don't
Just
know
a few
how
minutes
that
after that, we'll begin to deploy the 88 spacecraft on board this mission. We will see you back here around the T plus
It's called having
53
awesome
minute and
producer.
30 second mark.
I heard he had bribed his internet provider, but I don't want to know how much he paid for that.
Yes, I would like 1 quantum speed DSL, please. Thanks. Miko, you're not supposed to tell everybody.
do 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 do.
We were going to go into the Jeopardy theme there for a minute.
That's exactly where I was going with that. But I didn't want a copyright strike, so I stopped.
Oh dear. Yeah, Sabalt was saying quantum entangled communication. You know, QEC still boggles my mind. The fact that by taking something over, like on the other side of the universe, and putting it in a certain order, and finding something at the other side of the universe that is in the same order as that, that you can use that to transfer information. But
What amazes me? Go ahead.
It's just crazy the fact that you can set the not set as such, but if you know the position of a something, there can be another particle which has the exact same position as the entangled particle. I think they call it in like I think the less boring name for it, not the less boring. So they have a name for it, like spooky action at a distance. I think it's called.
Yeah. What's interesting to me is the feed is leaving KSC, going clear across the pond, the United Kingdom, getting some magic production stuff done to and clear across the United States to me faster than the one that's coming just across the United States to me. So we have regular light speed and we have slow light speed. And it looks like we've got quite a little break before SES2, second engine separation. That doesn't sound right. Deploy is right after that. SES2. Huh.
Apologies there. I had to mute my microphone there for a minute because my four-legged compatriot decided it was time to exercise his vocal cords.
I'm surprised my parakeet hasn't been chirping up. Usually, as soon as I turn on the microphone, it decides it's time to sing a song. Chirp, 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 chirp. Quiet all day long. Ah, yes, second engine start. Thank you, Miko. I could not remember that.
Yeah, when the camera was super up close to the landing burn, it and the way it sort of licks up the side of the booster, it can look pretty spoopy at times. You think, oh, is that supposed to be happening?
Yeah. I'm gonna drop out for just a minute. I need to take care of something. As soon as the producer tells me I'm clear to do so.
You are the invisible. And whilst I'm on my own, this is where I can take the time to go, hi, my name's Rich LB, and welcome to another episode of Becoming Multiplanetary. Nah, just kidding. Thank you. So that launch, the launch itself, super smooth. Like it came up off the platform, the strong back, went up, no problem, really smoothly. Got into Leo, and with the second stage, sorry, the separation even. That was also really smooth. We saw the vacuum chamber fill up just before it popped off the second stage. And stealing the show? No. No. More like covering. Let's see here. Mr. Producer, could you be a bit more specific, please? I really should be like this to pretend I've got something in my ear. Be like, yes, of course. Uh, well, seeing as you're here anyway, why not? Can the people hear you on the stream? Well, they'll probably hear you through the feedback, but that's okay. So, right. Let's bring that back around. So, over the coming weeks, we are going to have a new member to the team, Civilian Space, who, over the coming weeks, he'll be catching up with the TSN style and be producing a newsletter for us. And depending on a few things needing, few I's needing dotted and T's being crossed, you may be joining streams from time to time. So at this point, can we actually go back to the just before the launch real quick, please, Mr. Producer? We have time for a replay. Whoop. My green screen is being a bit funny. Wonderful.
The launch director giving the final go for launch. We are T-minus 30 seconds from liftoff. Let's tune into terminal count and watch as the Transporter 2 mission begins.
minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition and liftoff.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Mr. Producer is working as fast as he can. Apparently our logo is being launched into space. TSN to the moon.
First stage chamber pressure is nominal.
Falcon 9 has cleared its tower, and we're currently throttling down in preparation for max Q. That should be coming up in about 20 seconds. Max Q is where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
Of the
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
From you. Thank you.
Max Q.
And you heard the call out. We've passed
You know what?
the period of maximum aerodynamic
comment
pressure.
right now, and
Falcon
I
9
feel
is
like
now
I need to
headed
do it
south
in the Richard Attenborough
along the
voice.
Florida coast.
And
All is looking good with the first stage trajectory. We have 5 events coming up in quick succession in about a minute. The first is main engine cutoff, also known as NECO.
Yeah, watch
followed
your
by
back,
stage
Rich. You
separation,
show
where the two
stealer,
stages
you.
will separate from one another. The first stage will then perform a flip to head back towards Florida.
All the shows.
And
I swear, if I tried
engine on the
covering
second
every single
stage
show
will,
we had, I would go
perform second engine
bananas.
start 1 and ignite that MBAC engine.
I would have
And the first stage will also
social time.
begin
I would
its
have,
first
like,
of
no
3
life
burns, the
whatsoever.
boost back burn.
There's no life for all the shows.
All your shows are belong
This
to
is
me.
a view from the top of Falcon 9 looking down towards the 9 Merlin engines at the bottom of the
And
first
this is
stage.
actually the part that you like, Astro Rody, when you've got the plumes fanning out.
Yeah, the plumes. It looks a little sootier than normal, but I guess the last several launches have been at night, so you can't really see the color because it's got white behind it now instead of normally it's very dark behind the plume.
Stage separation confirmed.
And the Carolox is a lot sootier than Methalox, like with Starship, where it's a lot more of a clean burning fuel.
And there you saw on screen we had successful stage separation. The first stage started performing its flip maneuver.
Done studio, I like, and this is already amazing.
And
as
the
is.
boost back burn should be ending in about 25
I'd love
seconds.
to see what the full one's looking like.
Yeah, we've been putting a lot of work in behind the scenes here at TSN, and that includes everybody, including Mr. Producer Man. He has been working on our OBS setup and making just leaps and bounds of improvements, as you can see. And hopefully, once he gets that all set up proper,
and there was confirmation of a successful boost back burn. Again, that is the first of 3 burns for the first stage. Coming up next is fairing deploy in a few seconds here.
And so it'll always look the same
of the second stage
down the road. We're gonna let the producer finish doing his magic and expressing his creativity before we try and do that.
And off come the 2 fairing halves, and they have separated and fallen away from the vehicle, exposing the 88 spacecraft to the vacuum of space. As a reminder, the recovery vessel
look at all those satellites
today from the water.
It's just so amazing.
So we are about T plus 4 minutes and 20 seconds into flight. We have a couple of views on screen. On the right-hand side is a view of our second stage Merlin vacuum engine, also known as the MVAC engine. It's currently in the first of 2 MVAC burns. This burn should last for until the T plus 8 minute and 24 second mark. About another 4 minutes left on this burn. And the
Yeah,
next
Max Q,
milestone
we
will
can
be for
only
the first stage
use what
to
we
perform
have
its
permission
entry
to
burn. That's what you're
use,
seeing on the left-hand side of
and
your
we
screen.
do not currently have
Falcon 9
permission
needs
to
to execute an
use
entry burn to slow itself down before
other
hitting the
content
dense parts of the
creators'
atmosphere.
live
And without this
streams.
burn, relying
There
on the
are,
atmosphere alone to slow Falcon 9 down
other than
would
S
put
Padre has
unnecessary
given us
strain on
permission
the
for
rocket.
their camera.
Vehicle is on a nominal
But
trajectory.
we are working on, once we can afford it,
The call out
being
for a
able
nominal
to do
trajectory.
some
Everything's looking
of the
great
other
so
live
far on the
coverage
Transporter 2 mission.
that is available out there. But it's a little bit expensive for us to do an out-of-pocket thing on.
You also notice some honeycomb-like structures have deployed on the first stage on the left-hand side.
Yes, when you get
those
into
are
this
our 4
industry, there's a
hypersonic
lot of
Griffins positioned at the base
costs
of the
that you
inner
don't
stage.
anticipate
They
when you
help
first
to
set
orient
out.
the rocket during re-entry by moving
Yes,
these
there
That's
are.
for sure.
Yes,
That
there
There's
is
also some
for
plumes of
sure.
gas coming out. This is cold nitrogen gas,
And
which
especially
helps
when
with
it comes
attitude
to other
control.
creators,
Both are essential to make sure that we have
they
a
have
nice
done the
targeted
work and
landing
earned their
back on land
place
zone 1 later on
where
in
they
today's
are in
mission.
the industry, and the right thing for us to
The
do
second burn,
is
the
to follow their
entry burn, is
rules
coming up in about
and
30
give
seconds.
them their
Watch for that
rightful
on the left-hand
credit.
side. You
And
can
if they
also
want
see there's a speedometer
some
of
sort of
sorts on
compensation
the
for
bottom
use
left-hand side that
of
tracks the
their
speed
streams,
of the
then
first
we need
stage. And
to
when we
provide
begin the
that,
entry
because
burn,
that's the
we'll start to
responsible
reduce the
and
speed,
space-friendly
shortly
Team
after the
Space
entry burn
thing to do.
ends,
And we
we'll
are
hit the denser
very
parts of the
Team
atmosphere and
Space
also
oriented
begin
here
to
at
further
Total
reduce
Space.
our velocity as the
So
first stage
Definitely.
continues to make its way back
And
towards
speaking
Earth.
of Lab Padre, we were very lucky to sit down and have a chat with him, actually, when we were all remembering our dear departed friend Warhawk. We all got together and sat down and
Stage
shared
2
memories, and it was a wonderful time. It really was.
Stage 1 entry burn start up.
There's the call out, and you can see on screen 3 Merlin engines have relit and are currently slowing down the first stage. This burn is expected to last for another 15 seconds or so.
You know,
Vehicle
Ryan
on
was
a
saying about
nominal
how you'd be able
trajectory.
to see the fins cutting through the air. We don't see much of that this time round.
Stage 1 entry burn.
Yeah, it's very, very different from last time. It's like you were
And
saying
successful
earlier.
completion of
It
our
depends on the
second of 3
atmospheric
burns.
conditions and the angle of the light
As I
behind
mentioned
it.
earlier, we are going to be attempting to recover the booster.
You can
for
see
an
the
8th time
RCS
back on
thrusters
land at
pumping
landing
away,
zone 1.
but
The first stage
it's not
has
quite
one more burn
trailing
left,
through the
landing
fins
burn,
like it
and
normally does.
begins just before we touch down and provides the booster with a soft descent before we land. At the same time Falcon lands, we are expecting Sequel 1 of our second stage. That's second engine cutoff. And shortly after that, we'll be entering a coast phase. And you can see
Stage
the
1
Florida
entry transonic.
coast and landing zone 1 are approaching on the left-hand side of the screen as this booster makes its attempt to land for an 8th time.
Yeah, you can see the tilt of the rocket when that booster kicks in, the engine kicks in.
Coming down,
Like,
Yeah.
whoa,
Stage 2
Nelly!
internal guidance.
Ground come up pretty fast.
Tip
We
the
got to do
camera
something
up.
about that.
Tip the camera up. Just a little. Just a little.
You can hear it now, can't you? Pull up. Doot, doot, doot. Pull up. Doot, doot, doot.
Stage 1. Falcon light deployed.
That was as smooth as I'd seen it. We had phenomenal shots.
So
all the way
long,
through
and
the
thanks
landing
for
burn.
all
You
the
heard
fish.
Sonic booms. This booster has landed for the 8th time. That is the 89th
Oh, that's just such a
recovery of an
beautiful
Orbital
sight.
class rocket.
All the dust getting kicked
Stage
up
1
and
nominal
then
landing confirmed.
blowing around
And what a way to
the
start
first
off
stage
the
and-
Transporter 2 mission.
hiding it, and then, hey, look, here I
At the
am.
same time, we did have successful
Peekaboo.
second stage, second engine cutoff,
Yeah,
and
I'm here. I
confirmation
haven't
of a
fallen over.
nominal orbital
Honest.
insertion. We are now going to coast for the
If
next
you think that's
45
going to be
minutes or
dusty,
so
can
while
you
we wait
imagine
for
when a
second engine
starship
start.
lands on Mars?
Just a few
Oh,
minutes
my
after that, we'll
lord.
begin to deploy
Or
the
even
88 spacecraft on board this mission. We will see you back here around the T plus 53 minute and 30
there's rumor that they
seconds.
might do a little hop with Super Heavy booster, and that'll be landing right there in dusty old Starbase, Texas. I wonder if we'll be able to see the dust plume from space.
And what's going to happen with Super Heavy? Probably it's going to be so powerful that the Super Heavy isn't going to launch. The Super Heavy's engines is going to yeet Earth out of orbit. That's what's going to happen.
Where to go? little vanishing act there.
Expected loss of signal, Cape.
Looks like we are approximately halfway between second engine cutoff and second engine start 2. So we still have quite a little bit of time to wait. So. Ooh, what's this? What's this? Oh, thanks, Miko. There's a big little timeline that he found for us in voice chat comments, Rich. So at about 54 minutes in, second engine will restart, and it'll be just a couple of second burn, probably just to reorient the rocket just slightly, point so that the payload is pointed in the right direction. And then it'll start deploying at almost 58 minutes into the launch. And it'll just keep deploying every few seconds after that for the next long little while. There gets to be a little bit of space in between them. Oh, no, there doesn't. I was reading that wrong. Yeah, we get about 15. We get about 30 minutes worth of deploys. So hopefully we'll be able to see a lot of that on the stream. So that'll be real fun to watch, especially if we can kind of see them like shoot off away from the payload dispensers. There are several. Yeah.
So, whilst we're waiting on the SES-2, just prior to deploying, because both events are really, really shortly after each other, what launches do we have coming up?
Let me bring that up and see what is next. We did have Virgin Orbit Launcher 1 earlier today, but Total Space was not able to provide coverage on. On that. Looks like we have another Soyuz launch tomorrow, which is a OneWeb launch. Looks like approximately on the 7th, there will be a Long March 4C launch. We have a Proton launch sometime in the middle of July, and sometime, looks like approximately July 20th, we will have New Shepard 16 with Jeff Bezos and I forget his brother's name, and a couple other crew members, and somebody
Mark,
who paid a
I think.
lot of money for this for a seat on the flight. Go ahead, Rich.
I believe it was Mark, Jeff's brother's name.
That sounds right. And then towards the end of the month, we have Ariane 5 doing Eutelsat. I probably just butchered that. Eutelsat Quantum and Star 1 D2. Star 1 D2. That name's got to be a Star Wars play. We also have Friday, July 30th. Potentially, we have Starliner Orbital Flight Test 2, which should be a good one. If it's at a good time that we can cover it, we will definitely make an effort to cover that one. Sometime this month, we should have JAXA launch of Epsilon PBS, doing Raise 2 and others, so it's a multi-launch. Then we have a Vega launch sometime in July. We have Firefly sometime in July. We have an Electron launch sometime, hopefully in July. Maybe a second Electron launch in July. There's a whole bunch of things that are net July. We just don't know for sure if they're going to be July or not.
Can I get the studio feed back up, please, Mr. Producer? Thank you. Oh, wow, this is... There we go. That's a bit better.
So yeah, a lot of launches coming up, and we're making an effort to try to provide coverage here for as many of them as we can. But like I was saying earlier, we do have adult things and jobs and other responsibilities that kind of need to come first. But we're here to cover as many of these as we possibly can. And
Yep.
if there's one in particular you guys want us to make an extra effort to cover, I can request time off from work and things. So if there's one you're especially looking forward to and you want to make sure that we cover it, let us know. We'd be happy to make an extra effort if the viewers really want us to cover.
So in the spirit of Team Space that we're all about here over at Total Space Network, whilst we weren't able to cover the Virgin Orbit launch earlier, the Angry Astronaut was actually on the ground live for the Virgin Orbit launch. So we should be able to provide a link for that somewhere later on. And actually, earlier on, I spoke about the BR guest section on the website where you can use a contact form to contact in. That contact form does also have other options on it as well, not just BR guests. So, like for instance, as Astro Rody mentioned earlier, if there is a specific launch that you'd like us to cover and we haven't announced that we're already covering it, feel free to write in through that form. The thing is, when you write in through that form, it goes to a collective inbox which is monitored by the entire team. So one of us will notice it, for sure. Which is why we definitely prefer using that form, because that then goes somewhere where everyone can see.
Or even if it's not a launch, but it's some other space event that you would like to see coverage of, or maybe there's a subject you would like one of our shows to do an episode on, or you have some sort of idea like that. Feel free to let us know. We want to make content that you guys want to see, you people want to see. I shouldn't be gender specific. But you, the viewers, are what we're doing this for. So please, if you have something you want us to do, let us know. And if it's something that's within our capability of doing, we will make an effort to do it.
It stops short of trying to get everybody in the team to do the Macarena all at once, though.
Yeah. You don't want to see me do that. Trust me. I dance like a white drummer, only not nearly as coordinated. And definitely not with the timing. Every limb is going in different directions to a different beat.
Yeah, I would need a massively wide angle lens to capture the entirety of me doing the Macarena, and it won't be pretty. It trust me, it won't.
Yeah.
Do it for the memes.
It could get us viral.
I mean, for the memes.
Watch these two idiots do the Macarena with a rocket in the background.
I have a funny feeling that this is going to end up as viral as the whole Kage Felix Taco Bell thing. Like,
yeah, that could be. That could be. We'll have to try sometime to set up something similar to what they did on that stream, where people can tweet at us and we can pull stuff up on the stream. We'll have to try playing around with something like that, because I know we a lot of our viewers are on Twitter and follow us over there as well, and get to see all sorts of the other things we're interested in besides just rocket stuff and space stuff. So, that's another way you can interact with us, and there's no paywall on that one. So if you're poor like me,
let's not cue copyrighted music on a stream. Probably not a great idea. Just saying.
yeah.
Rocket pun, huh? Chat, let's get some rocket puns.
Yeah.
I seem to have a constellation behind me. Oh, no, other
Yeah.
I keep forgetting, obviously, when you're previewing, it's mirrored, so
Right. Alright,
you know
we've
what?
got
I'm
got about
thinking of rocket puns now.
Yeah, and I'm drawing a complete blank. We've got about 10 minutes till second engine start, so we've got some time to kill here, folks. Throw us your favorite rocket puns. Let's see what we got.
No, don't, because things are happening. Let's not. So,
What do you call a blind dinosaur?
how do
Do you
you think
think
he saw us?
Oh,
Dear.
one of the camera ops at the studio had a good one this morning, but I can't remember what it was. She's pretty funny. She's got some really good, like, 3 a.m. dad jokes.
I used to have a whole collection of dad jokes. A lot of them obviously are not stream friendly, so I wouldn't be able to use half of them.
No, I'm not bored. I'm just saying what the back channel team is saying in my ear.
The producer is on it. There we go.
So 5413 is when we should see SES, second engine start.
Which is quite funny because normally SES consists of done. Just that little tiny delta V correction, just like
Yeah,
we're
it's
good.
it's listed as approximately a 2-second burn.
Well, it's not quicker than the usual one. Sometimes I've seen them just be like literally on and off again. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Just a little bit of an attitude correction. And then it'll do that it'll follow that course for about 3 minutes. And then we'll start the deploy sequence. Yeah, that's a good one, Max. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Why couldn't the rocket have a second launch date? It had thrust issues. It has thrust issues.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, all the jokes I have, I can't tell on the stream. Sorry. They are not family friendly. We'll just say that. Nor are they work safe.
Very similar to Finnish humor. I've heard a few of Finnish jokes, and they're pretty gruesome.
The standing joke today at work was on our comms. Because every time I'd say a joke, and I'd just wait, and like I can see several of the camera ops because that's usually who I'm talking to comms, and just no reaction whatsoever. And like finally, about halfway through the night, I'm just like, and I am not funny today, I guess. And they all just kind of look at me and chuckle. Like I think they were all trying not to laugh or something, messing with me. I didn't have my sense of humor today.
Tough crowd.
Yeah, really tough crowd.
Hmm.
All right.
There's some things in there that I am definitely not repeating.
Hmm. All right, I think somebody's looking up jokes. That's a lot of jokes to.
Even then, they're pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of cherry picking the jokes isn't a bad thing.
It's coming, inching ever closer to that tiny little SES2.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured I would go ahead and plan a little party in space. Does everybody here want to help me plan it?
Alright, here you go. Why did Mickey Mouse go to space? Anyone? Bring me back up the studio, please. Anyone know why Mickey Mouse went to space? No? Hey, where to find Pluto, of course. Whoa!
All right, we got about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna
Good
start
thing this
seeing a
isn't
lot of
Twitch, because that would probably have been clipped.
what the imitation
Yeah.
of a patented character.
Yes, but it's a poor imitation, so it probably won't hit any copyright strikes.
Yeah, it's so interesting that the different platforms do those things a little bit differently. But so be it.
XQ says, what did the Soviet rocket say as it took off? Soyuz guys later. No, the Soviet rocket said brrr when it took off.
Okay, we are getting really close here. About 1 minute to second engine start. And our feed is still ahead of SpaceX.
Our second dedicated rideshare mission.
Bring the volume
Falcon
up, Mr.
9
Producer.
lifted off at 3:31 p.m. Eastern Time from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station and had successful stage separation. We landed our first stage on landing zone 1 and successfully completed our first second stage burn. We are waiting to relight our MVAC engine on the second stage for a second and final burn. It's going to be a quick burn lasting about 2 seconds. And that should be coming up in about 15 seconds.
MVAC engine chill
Looks
underway.
like they're not going to give it. Oh. No, no footage of the.
I love how on the timeline now we've got deploy, 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 deploy,
Yeah.
deploy, deploy.
Who's deploy?
Nominal orbit
Who's this
insertion.
guy deploy? It sure is a lot of him.
So we did have
So
successful
the next event
second engine
is
start for the
at
second time,
57
and
minutes
successful
and
second
50
engine
seconds,
cutoff, and you just
and
heard the
it
call
is
for a
NASA's
nominal
Pace
orbital
1.
insertion. So the second stage is going to coast for a few minutes before we start to deploy our satellites. And as I mentioned, this is our second dedicated rideshare mission. Our goal with these rideshare flights is to provide small satellite operators with competitive pricing, increased flight opportunities, and flexibility. These dedicated rideshare flights to sun-synchronous orbits will occur about 3 times a year, providing regular access to orbit. In addition, we also offer opportunities for ride to orbit on our Starlink missions, which launch every couple of weeks. We've launched 4 Starlink missions that include rideshare spacecrafts as well, and we're hoping to launch much more in the future. So coming up in about 2 minutes, we are expecting the start of the deployment sequence. There will be 31 deployments for 88 spacecraft, which will occur over a 30-minute period of time. This includes CubeSats, microsats, and orbital transfer vehicles, sometimes
this
called
stream
space
should
tugs,
we should
which will deploy
retitle
their
the stream
spacecraft
in
after separating
brackets
from Falcon
dad
9,
joke.
and also 3 Starlink satellites. Many of these deployments will be grouped within seconds of each other, while others may be
This is
a
it now.
minute
This
or
is just
more
going to be
apart.
like every TSN stream. There's just going to be a stream of dad jokes in chat.
This is a look at the
And then
order
the
of
challenge
deployments
is to
between
try and
now
stream
and the
without
final
losing
deployment
it.
around
Like
the
keep your
1 hour
composure
and 27-minute mark.
whilst reading all these
You
dad
should
jokes.
hear the call out from our mission
Totally,
operators
like,
as each
deadpan.
deployment
Deadpan it.
happens.
I
And to
can
keep
do
in
that.
mind, most of these
I don't
deployments
want to,
include
but I
multiple
could.
satellites. So while there are 31
I'm reading a
deployments,
book about
at the end, we
anti-gravity.
will have put 88
It's
satellites
impossible
into
to
orbit,
tell.
again, including our 3 Starlink satellites.
My friend told me that his
We are
DIY
about a
liquid
minute
rocket
away.
made
This
it
is a
to
view
space.
of our second
I
stage.
told him to quit being
And back to
hyperbolic.
the animation. Several of the customers on board this mission have multi-launch agreements with SpaceX. So some of the names might sound familiar to those of you who have
here we
tuned in from
go.
previous rideshare
Coming
missions.
up on first
It's
deploy.
also worth noting that
5750.
we will lose access to
Oh,
ground
now we
station
get the
coverage
rocket
for a short
feedback.
period during the 30-minute window.
It'll be coming up
30-minute
on the stream
deployment
in just a
sequence.
moment here.
When we reach that point, we'll let you know.
Oh, maybe
And
we
here's
don't.
the view
Maybe
of
we
the
do.
second
Maybe
stage
we don't.
MVAC engine. Similar to the first transporter mission, we'll be flying a fuel dome
Almost.
payload tray, which is
Yep.
essentially a small platform
think I need to be
mounted
John
on the
Cena
back
again.
end of the second stage fuel dome that will release a handful of payloads. And as you may have already noticed, one of our 2
My camera
MVAC
does
views
this every
is
now and then.
obstructed because of that fuel dome payload tray.
Let's see if I can fix it myself.
Acquisition of
Digital
signal,
puke.
Bangalore.
So we are
There we go.
expecting the first
Fixed.
batch of deployments to begin in a few seconds here.
Phase 1, separation confirmed.
I don't know if we saw anything there or not. Quick.
News at 19, separation confirmed. First
I don't think I
satellite,
saw a
separation
deploy
confirmed.
there, but it might have been that the camera was on the opposite side. Let's have a look here.
Right. I didn't see it anywhere. So we should be. We are several satellites into this already. It might just be that there's not enough light to see them move around, or the camera's on the wrong side to see the deploy. Oh, there goes one.
Tropics Pathfinder, separation
big one.
confirmed. Domes 2, separation confirmed.
That was at 5850. So that would have been second ISI satellite deploys. Here comes another
so
one.
We are just south of India right now. As we go further south into the Indian Ocean, it might struggle to keep the downlink because I don't know if there's any tracking stations that far south.
Yeah, there's no monitoring stations out that way.
Oh, we're coming the opposite. We're actually coming south to north, so at least I think so. From what I saw of the animation, really briefly. Like, look at this rod. Guess which one's falling off next?
There's another big one going. And then, oh, I misread that earlier. That was
Second ISI
that was
satellite,
the
separation
second
confirmed.
ISI. Next is TIVAC 0211, followed
TIVAC
quickly by
0211,
Loft
separation
Orbital's
confirmed.
YAM 3, followed quickly by Tuberlin's
YAM 3,
Tubbin,
separation confirmed.
and
Tubin, separation
Umbra
confirmed.
Star Umbra Star. We're now up to
There goes another one.
D-Orbit's Ion satellite.
Umbra
Another.
Star, separation confirmed.
If I try to read these, they're going to be launching faster than I can read them.
Ion satellite carrier.
That was another big one.
Confirmed.
So we saw a couple of satellites, and we got confirmation for the NASA's PACE-1, Satellogic's NewSat-19, the first ICE-I satellite from an exoport, NASA's TROPICS Pathfinder, Planet IQ's GNOMES-2, the second ICE-I satellite from an exoport.
Hello, civilian
TIVAC
space.
0211.
How you doing?
Loft Orbital's YAM-3 from
He's
an
just
exoport.
popped into chat and he's recording
Berlin's
podcast right now, so he
Tubin
can't
from
stay
an
long.
exoport, the Umbra SAR, and D-Orbit's Ion satellite carrier. We were expecting to hear the call out for TIVAC 0173, so we're going to check in with the teams and see if we can give you guys an update a little bit later. Coming up, we have another batch of 5. These are going to be for the Space Development Agency General Atomics Paratons Lynx 2, Satellogic's NewSat 20
See that
and
ahead
21,
of the rod?
Yeah, I'm
SAR
just looking at
satellite,
that. It
and the
looks like
third
we're
ICE-I
getting
satellite
closer
from
to
an
it.
exoport.
But it's hard to say exactly where it is. It may look like it's close, but it's real far away.
Lynx 2, separation confirmed.
It's just the angle. You can't. It's hard to get perspective on distance and orientation. Oh, there goes another one.
NewSat 20, separation confirmed.
Can I borrow yours, Max Q?
NewSat 21, separation confirmed.
Yeah, let's stop with the political jokes.
Capella SAR satellite, separation confirmed. Third ICE-I satellite, separation confirmed.
So we got confirmation for...
Expected loss of signal, Diego Garcia.
We got confirmation for 5 more deployments. That was the Space Development Agency General Atomics Paratons Lynx 2, Satellogic's NewSat 20 and 21, the Capella SAR satellite, and the third ICE-I satellite from an exoport. For those that are wondering, exoport is an adapter, special adapter built by our ExoLaunch customer. We are about halfway through the 31 total deployments on today's mission. And coming up, we have 2 more deployments.
Yes,
These are going to be for the Space
infographic
Development
back up on the
Agency
screen.
General Atomics Lynx 1, as well as the DARPA Space Development Agency Air Force Research Laboratories Mandrake 2 cable.
When you look at the infographic, it looks like a rod with a bunch of AC units stuck on.
It's nice and cool inside.
Yeah. All the air conditioning ever.
Yeah, so we're we're about 10 minutes into the deploy sequence, and not even
Links 1,
well,
separation
about
confirmed.
halfway through the sequence. We get getting really close. I think next will be, there we go, Capella SAR.
Mandrake 2 able,
And then
separation
next
confirmed.
is a third ICI.
We got confirmation for Space Development Agency General Atomics Paraton's Lynx 1 deployment, as well as the DARPA Space Development Agency Air Force Research Laboratories
Looks like
Mandrake 2
that.
able. And coming up in less than a minute, we are
There
expecting
should
the
have been
next deployment. It's going to be
Space
the fourth
Development
ICE
Agency
satellite
General
from the next report.
Atomics Paratons Lynx LINCS. A fourth ICI should go next. It should be a big one. I think it's the one closest on the left there. Huh? The camera's in the wrong spot. Oh, there it goes.
Fourth ICI
Next
satellite,
we
separation
have
confirmed.
Swarm Space B.
That's the one
And that was
that
confirmation
we
of
spoke
the
about
fourth
earlier.
ICE satellite
and
from
then
an exoport. The next batch
about
of
20
deployments,
seconds
there's
later,
going
there will
to
be another one.
6 of them. It
Another
is for Swarm's first and second Space B cluster from an exoport, Nano Avionics D2 Altacom 1 from an exoport,
6:48.
Spire's Lemur number
is the
1 from
first
an
swarm.
exoport,
And then the
Satellogics
second one at
NewSat 22,
7:10.
and Loft Orbital's YAM2 satellite.
And then at
Welcome to the
7:7.
stream, Alex.
$7:17, there will be a Nano Avionics, D2 Altacom. Okay, here we're coming up on Swarm 1 and 2. I don't know if we saw that or not. It might have just been them switching cameras.
Yeah, they're switching from. I believe it's
Oh,
like.
there it goes. There was one. Sneaking off.
Yep.
First Space B
Then
cluster,
second one
separation
is,
confirmed.
They got yeeted out pretty
Now.
quick, actually.
yeah. The camera is really close to him, so it can't really see. There goes the other swarm, I think.
Second Space B
Or
cluster,
that could have
separation
been
confirmed.
Nano Avionics. Oh, there goes the Nano Avionics. Spire's Lemur.
D2 Atlacom 1, separation confirmed.
There we go. And then at 47 we
Lemur number 1,
have
separation confirmed.
Satellogics NewSat 22. Might have missed that one on the different camera angle. There goes. I think that was Loft Orbital. And
NewSat
then
22, separation
we
confirmed.
wait till 9:51 and we get Spire Lemur number 2. Oh, there goes. I think that was
YAM2,
Loft there.
separation confirmed.
Loft Orbitals. He kind of just sauntered off the screen.
And we got some really cool views of the satellite
Took his own
separating.
sweet time, that one.
That was for Swarm's
Don't worry, Max
first
Q. I
and
can see
second
exactly what
Space
my
B cluster
camera's
from an
doing.
exoport.
Generally, what
Nano
happens there
Avionics
is the
D2
producer will
Altacom
turn
1
the camera
from an
off
exoport.
until I fix it.
Spire's Lemur number 1 from
So
an
I do see it.
exoport. Satellogics NewSat 22 and Loft Orbital's YAM2 satellite. The next 2 deployments are going to happen during a blackout period, which means that we lose camera views and telemetry.
So
while we wait to regain access to
yesterday
ground
I was
station coverage
charged
in a few minutes, sit
$10,000
back
for
and follow
sending my
along with our
cat into
animation
space.
that shows you where we're at in the
It was
mission.
a
We'll see you back here at the
catastrophe.
T+ 1 hour and 15-minute mark.
Catastrophe. Yeah, I'm not funny
Expected
today.
loss of
It's
signal,
not funny.
Bangalore.
There we go. I was seeing some chromatic aberration on your face for a moment. It seems to have fixed itself.
Yeah, probably just the angle, the light. Let's see. 10. So next, we have quite a break here. We have 3 more events in the deploy sequence. We have at 2110 and 2114, Spaceflight Inc.'s Sherpa FX2 and LTE-1's deploy. And then we have a little over 5-minute wait for the Starlink satellites to deploy. Yeah, that's quite the coloration. Of course, I'm watching our stream on a non-calibrated monitor, so I just know that the colors are off, and I don't worry about it.
A million degrees. Wow. Just thinking about that makes my hands hurt. All the typing, all the dissertations.
Yeah.
All the research.
Yeah. All the thesis defenses.
Yeah. Having to defend a thesis a million times. Ouch.
I mean, it sucks pretty bad just doing it once. I mean, I've never had to do it myself, but I've helped a few friends with their thesis, and I mean, you spend 6 months or at a minimum writing your thesis and getting it fact checked and all sorts of things, and you reiterate it and reiterate it and reiterate it, and then you get to your final version, and then you go into a room that has a bunch of people who know exactly what your paper's about and know everything about that subject, and they pick it apart and they tell you what you got right, what you got wrong, and you have to defend every word of that thing. And like some people can't even finish presenting their thesis for defense. Like that's all they have to do to get their degree is finish defending that thing, and they walk out in the middle of it, and it happens all the time. And that's one of those things you've got to work for. You've really got to work for.
Yeah.
Space bar.
You know, I'm pretty sure that Elon should call that, because isn't he planning on making a bar at the top of the high bay?
Yeah. Or something. It might be just a company bar. I don't know if they'll have it open to the public. That seems like it would be quite a logistics nightmare, letting people onto the grounds of the production facility. I mean, it's probably already a bit of a nightmare just having everything so exposed, where people can drive by in their cars and take pictures of things that maybe shouldn't have pictures taken of just yet.
I mean, I still like the fact that the majority overall of the whole experience, SpaceX have been pretty chill with it. There
Yeah.
have been the odd one or two things happen, but you know what? The fact that we were allowed to have as many views of this stuff as we do, we should all consider ourselves very lucky.
Yeah, and you compare it to other companies, everything that is happening in Starbase, Texas happens inside of a warehouse with most companies. And you don't see anything until a container rolls out of the building and heads towards the launch site. You don't see anything until, hey, here's a rocket. So we really are spoiled by SpaceX doing things the way they're doing. Never before have we been able to see so much of what's happening as it's happening.
Yeah.
Like we live in a very different era as we get ready to go to the moon again than our parents and our grandparents experienced when we went to the moon last time. It's very different. Okay, we are waiting for 21 minutes 10 seconds and 21 minutes 14 seconds for the two Sherpa satellites to deploy.
Coming up, the
FX2
next two
and
deployments will happen a few
LTE-1
minutes from now.
are the
Those will
names
be
of
for
the two
Spaceflight
satellites.
Incorporated's Sherpa FX2 and the
I'll let this
LTE-1
SpaceX
satellites.
guy
And we're going to
talk
leave you
about what
with
he's
a
talking about.
short animation and sit back and follow along. And we'll see you back here once we hear those callouts.
There we are. Finished speaking now. Yes, looks like we're going over the North Pole now. Currently. It's actually relatively rare that we get to see these sun-synchronous polar orbits.
That's
around the Earth.
that's heading over Manhattan Island, isn't it? Because
Well,
that's Michigan and the Great Lakes area, just getting ready on the left to leave the map. Oh no, that's not. That's Italy there.
Nope. It is north of Russia, and you can see Finland.
I was looking at the wrong thing. I look kind of like Michigan. Just so you know, I can do well in geography. You've gone robot, Rich. Your voice has gone robot. We'll have to try and get Rich's voice reset real quick. Maybe camera 2. Okay. Looks like Rich's Discord is crashing, so we are not going to have any audio from him for a moment while he repairs that. So we are getting really close here to our 21 minutes 10 seconds and 21 minutes 14 seconds. So less than a minute for the last two non-Starlink deploys. Take care, Max. Thanks for coming and hanging with us. And you are absolutely welcome for us making it fun for you. Or however I'm supposed to say that. That's a hard one to turn around. But you are welcome. Okay, here we are at 21 minutes. Hopefully we'll see a feed of these last two deploys.
Testing. Hello.
Oh, hey, Rich, you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. My Discord was being a bit glitchy.
You know, it happens from time to time. So far, we've been pretty gifted this stream that we haven't had too many gremlins, so having to restart a program to get our audio back at this point in the stream, I am okay with it.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Okay, I didn't see anything deploy. Oh, there goes one. There goes the other.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, those guys were big. So it looks like that, so that should have been the last two. It looks like there's a few things still left on the center stack there.
We can see the EXO launch one. That is what you can see the writing EXO launch on the side there. That seems to be still on there.
Yeah. Looks like
let's see what this guy has to say.
At 27-minute mark.
Weren't quite quick enough on that one.
We have about 5 minutes, so.
Ah, yes, I can see the countries of Greenland and Iceland. It's anyone's guess which one's which.
That's mean, Rich.
No, you see so many memes about it online. You were like, Greenland is the one with ice. Iceland is the one that's green.
We totally do not mean to offend any of our viewers from Greenland or Iceland. But could you please clarify for us which is which? Okay, at 27 minutes 35 seconds, we should see the Starlinks deploy. So
they were right on the bottom of the stack, weren't they? Underneath the rod.
Yeah. But it looked like there were quite a few things still attached to the rod. So I wonder. I'm curious as to which ones didn't deploy. Like there's that one there. There's some up towards the front, and then there's the EXO launch. Though some of that might be control surfaces, but you'd think they would have put that inside the stack to control all the deploy mechanisms. But maybe they ran out of room. We haven't been given all that information.
Later, civilian space. We will see you soon. And thanks for joining.
Yeah, I think so, Miko. I know which one is which, Miko. I'm just exercising my poor sense of humor.
The one that doesn't make everybody laugh today because you were saying you weren't funny.
I'm just not funny today. I laughed at my joke and Miko corrected me. He took it as a serious question. See, I'm just not funny today.
And if we get close enough to Alaska and Shadow Moses Island, you might even see Metal Gear Rex.
Now we can see Michigan and the Gulf of California and Alaska and I forget the name of the bay that's coming right into the center there that's in Canada.
Is it not just the Bay of Canada, or is it the Bering Sea, or?
No, Bering. Yeah, I suck at geography. It's there's a bay right there coming into the middle of the lower half of the globe there, and I don't know the name of it. And then just off screen below that is Michigan. Hello, Stan.
Hello, Astro Rogue.
And welcome back to the webcast for SpaceX's Transporter 2 mission. If you're just joining us, we are close to the end of today's mission, which launched this morning from Cape Canaveral Space
27 minutes 35 seconds
at 3:31 p.m. Eastern
Starlink
Time.
is supposed
We
to
then
deploy.
had two
I don't know
successful
what he's
ignitions
saying.
and shutdowns of the second stage Merlin vacuum engine, then successful deployment of a majority of our spacecraft for our commercial
0173,
and
separation confirmed.
Government customers. We were also able to successfully recover our first stage for an 8th time on our landing zone. We just had the confirmation of the TIVAC 0173 satellite. So all payloads so far are have been confirmed for deployment. And we have 3 Starlink satellites to go, and we are expecting confirmation of that deployment here shortly.
Okay, so you were saying that they have successfully deployed all satellites so far in the deployment sequence, and they have 3 more events to go on the stream.
Expected losses.
Which will be happening very shortly.
There we go. There's a big separation there.
Starlink deploy confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
And there goes our 3 Starlink satellites.
Was
Again,
that?
That is 88
That wasn't the
spacecraft
Starlinks, though, was
confirmed
it?
for deployment on today's
Is
Transporter
this
2 mission.
is this
With
camera
that
at the
said, we
top
will
of
be
the
bringing
stack,
our
looking
webcast
down?
to an end. We would like to thank all of our rideshare customers for their support on today's mission. We would also like to thank the United States Air Force for range support, as well as the Federal Aviation Administration for licensing. Continue to follow us on SpaceX.com for future missions and milestones, as well as our Twitter and Instagram profiles. And if you are excited by what you've seen
Looks
today
like
and want
it's
to join
the
our
end
team,
of the
visit
stream. So yeah, they were probably the Starlinks.
SpaceX.com/careers to learn more about working at SpaceX. And as always, thank you to all of our viewers for your continued support, and have a great rest of your day.
Well, thank you so much for everybody for joining us and hanging out. And listening to us tell stupid jokes. We're so glad that